Hi guys, and welcome to the channel. If you're new here, welcome, and if you're returning, thank you. All right, I've taken a little break, you guys, and I needed it, and I've been just walking and grounding and clearing and letting the just nature kind of just help me through all this energy. I hope you're doing the same. I hope you're trying to take care of yourself. I just got done doing the video for Virgo, and I was half asleep. Now I'm waking up, so, well, I was just woke up, and I was like, I gotta do a reading for Virgo. It's been a minute. Didn't realize how many days kind of have went by. It's been a few, like probably almost a week. I don't know. But it's much needed time. So if you're taking that much needed time to go within, shine some light on your inner world, see how that is coming to you through your outer world. Good for you. This reading is going to be for you, Libra. We are starting with, these have been, there's a lot of karmic stuff, closing out, opportunities for these closures, ending karmic contracts. These have been kind of about dynamics and relationships, this whole round of readings. That's the energy going through. There's something heavily impacting the energy right now regarding these relationships and stuff. So, ooh, okay. So we got on the bottom, we got this. Very interesting. And then a lot of orange and yellow in your reading too, Libra. This looks like almost like, oh, it's coming through as kind of like anger or frustration, actually. That's what it's coming through as. Let's go ahead and just read this short bit to this. I am trying to keep these shorter, you guys. I always say that, and they always end up about an hour long, but tough beginnings is the bottom card here. Tough beginnings. This could be about something that had a rough beginning, or a beginning you're starting now that feels tough. It says awakening from a dream or reality. This has been the energy. It's like coming out of this illusion, this chaos, and getting swept away in other people's beliefs and other people's beliefs of who we are or who we should be, and it's like all of a sudden it's like, why am I letting everybody tell me like who I am or what I need to be or whatever? Awakening from a dream or reality, the lines become obscured. Everything kind of feeling blended and blurred, and it's like, well, what is really me and what is them? What is the conditioning and what is the condition? What am I actually feeling here? Fleeting moments, glimpses of emptiness. I still exist. Closing doors is not always easy, okay? This can be, this says, some things are painful and we get stuck in a holding pattern where we don't want to move forward. So we may be stuck, maybe holding on to the past and the lines becoming blurry between the past and the present, or any lines being blurred. Here on the bottom here coming through, it says we want to move forward, but in what direction? Trying to decide where we're going to go once we realize that the lines have become blurred. Elements consisting of pain, anxiety, and confusion are taking over your space of being. So you may be feeling a lot of anxiety, pain, confusion, because there's this wanting to move forward, but not knowing where to want to move forward to. And it says, how do you protect yourself and close off all the negative feelings intruding your life? So you could be having a lot of negative thoughts or feelings. I know in Virgos, it was like, don't give too much power to your mind right now. Give it to your heart. Follow your heart. First, you need to open the door of truth before you can get your closure. So this is about being really honest with yourself. These messages have been really blunt and just straight out, coming out, spirit, universe saying, hey, it's time to clear away the muck and see the truth and move forward from there. So some of the words that are related to this are depression and suicide. This kind of mental disorder, it is difficult to endure. So if you are struggling with anything mental, feeling depression or even suicidal, God, Lord have mercy. I've been there, you guys. If that's the way you're feeling, just know that you have purpose and the first thing to do is to separate yourself from the thoughts that are keeping you feeling like unworthy, or like unworthy of life. And I know when I had this big awakening, which is an understatement, but when I awoken for this, it's not, I've had lots of little more things awakening, but the big one, which was me feeling saved, rebirthed, the beginning of that. It's not an overnight thing, but I was dealing with a lot of shame and guilt and pain from my past, and I had to say, yeah, I'm not perfect. I did all this. I've done this. I wasn't present for my life, my kids, myself, my mate, but then, there was always me going, well, I was trying, but yeah, I was in addiction. I was, just not seeing clearly, and, felt worthless. So, talking about that stuff and being honest with others and ourselves about the stuff we're feeling upset about, shame about, guilt about, is really hard because we're afraid of what others are going to say. And sometimes they say stuff that makes us feel even shittier about it. And sometimes they're really comforting and nurturing. It just depends on who your circle of support is. But, and if they are not supportive in your growth and you coming forth trying to cleanse and purify yourself, then maybe they aren't right for you. If you're headed forward in this path and you want to grow from these experiences, not stay stuck in them and trapped in them, you want to grow from them, move forward, and enjoy living again, enjoy being who you are again. This is a real trap that we can fall into. So if you're struggling with this, obviously get help. I'm not a doctor, but or pray. I didn't go to a doctor or anything, and I've struggled a lot of my life with this stuff, and I think that some of it was carried on past life, and obviously genetically, DNA, ancestral healing, a lot of that stuff going on in my life. But your situation could be different, but it could be a lot the same too, since it is coming in. It says this kind of it's difficult. It's difficult mostly when someone has lost a friend or family member due to suicide, and I also have experienced this. It says it's heart-wrenching because the survivors feel like they missed the signs or could have done something more to help. So you could be even witnessing somebody in your life that could be struggling, and maybe you need to just offer love and support to that person, or yourself if this is you. It says they could have feelings of guilt, shame, or rejection, but frankly, it's not their fault. They need to forgive and let go of the deceased with loving memories, and they should remove any blame from themselves. So if this is any struggle, and it doesn't have to just be suicide, you guys, or something like that, if you're grieving the loss of something, recognizing that it wasn't their fault, that maybe there was an addiction, or maybe there was something like that going on that took them away from your life, whether this is physically or just emotionally, mentally, whatever. They just weren't, it'll give you a peace of mind and truth to know that people struggle and they disassociate, they detach when they're going through their sicknesses, and these significantly depression, and nobody, you can't tell exactly what's causing somebody to be depressed or upset, but this is a heavy reading, but there is reasons, and to understand that and to be compassionate about that really helps the other person too, and it'll help bring peace to your heart too. It says they need to forgive and let go of the deceased or the absence with loving memories, and they should remove the blame from themselves. So not to carry the burdens of another. It says people have lots of different opinions about this card is really upsetting. It's a lot talking about suicide a lot, which is interesting. It's just don't worry about your departed pathway to heaven. Let go of the hurt and confusion associated with religious beliefs. have peace in knowing that their soul is allowed to cross into the light of love and forgiveness. So if you're worried about somebody not coming to the light or going to heaven or something like that, saying don't worry about it, we're all forgiven, and God sees the truth. Heavens know the truth of how we can definitely fall into this despair here. And you never know why that despair is there. It could be this person was extremely sensitive. I know that addiction and stuff, for me, in my mind, it's very related to being empathic and sensitive, and trying to kind of numb all the stuff out. Until you learn to do that with your full awareness without substances, it will not be permanent. It will be a temporary, and it will make things worse. That's my experience with addiction. But people also have their, it says we get to live and experience multiple scenarios that teach us about love, understanding, and peace for one another. You may be going through agony due to someone not being there or passing, but rest in knowing that they too will continue their journey of life. Remember, we all need help from time to time, so be aware of what you can do to restore peace to your life. You've been trying so hard to close the door when all you need to do is open it widely and recognize what's in front of you. So you could be resisting moving forward from something. This could be a loss. This could be an actual physical loss or some kind of loss in your life. And it could even be, it could have been because of some kind of past addictions or mental illnesses, stuff like that. And it's saying you need to just move forward and recognize the truth before you can get closure. So, see the truth in like the person or yourself, so you can move forward with that. The truth isn't always what everybody wants to hear, people will say, well, that's an excuse, or that's, that person was a coward for doing that or whatever, but they just don't know the truth. That might be their truth, but it's really the truth, finding that truth in the situation. Was this a depression? Was this addiction? Was this a mental disorder? Is this, if you're currently struggling with this in your life with somebody or yourself, then you can start to let the white light of love, healing, and protection cover your body and soul. And that is profound. And then we got this other one. And I will say that all the orange in this card is screaming sacral chakra, which is the I feel. It's about the way we're feeling. And you might be feeling a certain way about something right now. Libra or whoever this resonates with, you might be feeling a certain way. You may be really wanting to be more... to really feel this and get through this, but there's just this, feels like a resistance, Let's go ahead and go to this 58 real quick and see. Fight to win. Anger. I knew I was feeling anger. Anger comes easy. True kindness takes courage and depth. Okay, so you could be very angry at somebody in your life that's struggling with a mental illness or an addiction or something that you've went through with this person in your life, whether it was a physical loss or it was loss of time or loss of something, some kind of feeling here coming through about this kind of resentment and anger and maybe shame and guilt. This could have been on their part if they were struggling with their, like, nobody wants to be an addict, not really. There's always shame and guilt that are attached to that, along with all the misery that comes with that life. But uncontrolled anger can take a toll on your health and your relationships. So this could be anger has taken a toll on a relationship, maybe with somebody who could have been struggling also with addiction, or this could be you also. And there could be self-anger, there could be anger towards the situation. It says, everyone gets angry, but when anger is extreme, like punching walls, throwing objects, where it feels necessary to call the police, something needs to change. We're not meant to live this way. And it is not easy trying to figure out why people become so easily agitated. Many blow up or have a tantrum because they're not good at articulating their feelings. I was getting this feeling energy, like needing to be honest and articulate some kind of feelings to move you forward with some understanding. But there's just this feeling of like not being there for someone, or being angry with someone because of their illness or whatever. And it doesn't, it could be an illness, but it could, yeah, I mean, mental illness, addiction, some kind of something like that. It's what's wanting to come through. It says they let their small frustrations build up until they can't handle it any longer, and then it comes out in one big explosion. Others may get angry at each and every little thing, making life with them very miserable. Okay, Libra, or whoever this is resonating with, this could be making the people around you miserable. Or somebody around you and their anger is making you miserable. But there is a feeling here of this resentment or anger coming out on your side here because of something you've went through or lost in maybe a relationship that was close and near and dear to your heart, and you want to understand, and you want to move forward, you want to heal, but there's this frustration and anger building about not being able to like move forward. And I feel like it's because there's a truth here that needs to be seen, and maybe it's just the truth that you need to be maybe more understanding about this person's inability to be present because of their addiction or illness or something like that, or vice versa. This can go either way, guys, but I read for the person I'm reading for, but you never know. Learning how to communicate emotions effectively is a key factor when expressing anger in a healthy way. This interaction requires that the other person be patient and listen without interruption, even if the person says something that's untrue or upsetting. This is a hard one, you guys. It's a certain kind of respect that should be given to others when they need to vent or just discuss their frustrations or problems. It also helps to flip the situation around to better understand things from the other person's perspective. It's vital for everyone to stay calm during these discussions, because if people can't trust someone's emotional responses due to fear or angered issues, they may stop communicating. That could be happening too in your life. I have been kind of getting little messages about this too, where it's really hard for people to express their emotions when they're afraid they're going to, or speak the truth, their truth that needs spoken, when they think they're going to get their stuff broke, or they're going to get screamed at, or they're going to get called names, or it's going to turn into a big tantrum. There's a lot about being honest in this energy, and how hard it is to do that with certain energies if they're explosive and you can't trust it anymore. You can't trust their responses. You could even be afraid. There's tons of coming through on this reading. There's the scenario of like being afraid to confront somebody because you're afraid of their emotional response, or you have emotionally responded to somebody who needed your help or needs your understanding, and maybe they don't need it. Maybe you need it. You need to understand it more than they do, so you can move forward in less frustration and anger. It is important to note that relationships each should understand their partner's limits or triggers and never provoke them in that way. You can say to somebody a million times, do not, scream at me, or, respect that because it triggers this, like PTSD, or it triggered, and it's like, everybody processes anger differently. I tend to just kind of shut down, where some people just explode, or they'll be like passive kind of about it. And I have that tendency to, like, a passive aggressiveness, which is also something that I've continuously been working on. But it's hard when you want to say something, but you are afraid of the response, or maybe you're the person giving that response that somebody can't come to you, maybe even if they are depressed or they are, but it still says you're not to carry that. It's just really, this is about reflecting on the way you handle anger, frustration, and something that feels like maybe it's not there for you, or it hasn't been there for you, or it wasn't there for you, a person, a situation. It's probably a person in your life that maybe wasn't present, or isn't, or couldn't be. can't be because of a mental illness or because of an addiction, something like that. That's what's coming through the strongest. It says some families banter back and forth, and next moment they're laughing. Others still stifle their anger and never express it, especially in front of children. You see how this could bring challenges to relationships. Sometimes anger and irritability levels can be affected by changes in one's hormones. And if this is the case, supplements or essential oils might be helpful. Okay, so some of the oils is resin root, herb, and grass. That's any grounding, mood stabilization, frankincense, myrrh, lemongrass, basil. If you want to energize your mind, mint, cinnamon, clove, cardamom, to cleanse negativity and uplift, limonene and monoterpenes. So yeah, this is just some of the oils you could use maybe to help with a couple of those things. We are going to go ahead and get a few Metatron cards here, you guys, for you. I'm definitely feeling the frustration and the anger in this reading. Just be mindful of where that's coming from, and if you're really trying to move forward, whoop, you got one. Balance needed. There needs to be some kind of balance here as you move forward between the black and the white, between the masculine and the feminine. It's coming through. And then we got higher realms and magic, and then shine on. Okay. We got the balance needed, and then we got that full moon energy once again in this reading coming through. Duality. 23. You are asked to look at the need for balance in your life now. If you are struggling, and this does feel like you could be struggling with balance and maybe balancing your anger, balancing your frustration. As I brought in my own situations, you could be struggling with an addiction or something that you think could be maybe trying to help balance you out. And that's just not what's needed. That's my opinion, but we need the dark to show us where light still needs to be shone. So if you're going through kind of a darker time, or you're looking at some dark things or dark aspects of other people in your life, you need to shine some light on it, some love, some light, some empathy, maybe some compassion. Rather than labeling what you struggle with now as unfair or unjust and seeing only its bleakness, look again and see the light within it. From those who dry your tears as they care for you, to the unexpected smile of a stranger that pierces through the darkest day, light is always there in the hard times too. This card seeks for you to feel the balance of life and flow that allows you to experience duality, one of the only places in the great universe where this is possible. Okay, it says, ask Archangel Metatron to help you see both sides to any disagreement, to feel the light within the darkest hour, to see the masculine and feminine parts of you, and to bring all aspects of yourself back into equilibrium. That is what I'm getting. It feels like you could have maybe... you could be feeling a lot of anger and resentment and frustration, maybe not seeing something from another person's point of view, maybe not understanding the whole, just like your side, not the whole picture to get this balance. So there is a feeling here, and then we're going to go this higher realms of needing to see this bigger picture here. 50. When did you stop believing in magic? So often we start believing, and then the heaviness of life can squash and diminish our ability to believe in magic and the happily ever after story, disappointments, betrayals, and loss. That's what I'm feeling. So this could have been betrayal, this could have been loss, this could be disappointment you're looking back at, it's making you frustrated, or you're looking at presently. And it's asking you to seek that balance by seeing it from another perspective, from another point of view, and find the light in it, the good that's come from it. or could, it's interesting. It's, if this is a loss, like suicide or something like that, I know with my life, you know, it did show me that, like, you know, there's times I felt angry, you know, like, why, like, you know, there's times you're going to think, oh, that person was a coward, or, you know, but then it's just like, no, there was really a lot going on. And this happens with maturity too, where we don't throw those tantrums, and we understand that with maturity, we gain perspective, and we see that there was a lot going on with that person, and they might have chosen to do things that weren't maybe beneficial to their mental or emotional or spiritual well-being at that time. And we can definitely understand that better, and it can help us move forward to try to make better choices for ourselves too, and to be there compassionately for people that struggle with this conflict. It's definitely seeing both sides here, trying to look at something from both sides here. It comes to remind you that the world of magic is all around you, and you are asked to release your attention from the humdrum of ordinary life and believe in something extraordinary and out of this world again. For it is as real as anything else, much discovered through the layers of consciousness and light. You are asked to lift your eyes to the stars rather than look down at the ground, where you feel stuck or thwarted or uninspired. I love that. It asks you to question what you believe. That's what I'm getting. You could be really seeing something and believing something about some situation or something in your life here that's just not what it fully is. There's probably something going on behind the scenes here with some kind of depression, addiction, maybe a mental illness, maybe something like that. It's coming through really strong. So whether this is you're reflecting on, or somebody else in your life, or some situation in your life, that's what it's really coming through. And this could be really being illuminated for you, especially on this full moon we just had, or to even till our next one. I'm getting that, like, there's this seeing something from the other side energy kind of coming through here. It says maybe you have had moments of doubt and crisis of faith, and lilac ray will pull you magnetically back to explore more. The lilac ray, it's kind of coming through as the crown chakra, which is the I know. So there's something you might be through your wisdom and your spiritual knowing and wisdom, you may know that there's something here that has been off, like something more you need to understand, something from a wise place or a spiritual place that you need to understand more, not just the like kind of 3D reality of it. That's what I'm getting. But seeing something from a much higher perspective. That's what I'm getting. It says you may question aspects of spirituality, angels, and source energy. Maybe you have had moments of doubt and crisis of faith. The lilac ray will pull you magnetically back to explore more, question more, and seek deeper truths. There's a deeper truth here to some kind of situation or loss or something in your life that you may be looking at right now, whoever this is resonating with, and trying to move forward from it. And there's a need to seek deeper truth in order to walk forward and move forward. This deeper truth has to be acknowledged first. A deeper truth to see a bigger picture so you can move forward and create this and have this magic in your life. Something magical happening from maybe something that has just looked one way, and there's a whole nother part of it you aren't seeing. Or maybe you are starting to see that. But it says, it is your soul's calling to remind you that you are so much more than just a physical body. You are a soul leading a physical life, not the other way around. You may also use the lilac energy to bring balance where you have been out of equilibrium. The balance, once again, coming in out of equilibrium, maybe not seeing the whole picture, maybe being thrown off balance because of not an anger, frustration, and it's throwing you off balance because you're not seeing a whole picture. Maybe you could be, if you saw it from another perspective, or you saw there wouldn't be this, you see it from a more spiritual and higher perspective to make you less like angry, more compassionate and understanding. That's what I'm getting. Containing both the red and blue rays, lilac effortlessly calms and balances two separate ends of the color spectrum and can now support and heal your body, mind, and spirit. A powerful, transformative, magical ray. Connect to lilac, and let it remind you that all stories start with once upon a time. So the kind of recreating a story maybe from a higher perspective, going back and maybe revisiting something you've lost or something that's happened here that's maybe still left you feeling angry, frustrated, like you can't move forward, revisiting that from a higher perspective, a place of spirituality and wisdom, seeing a bigger picture and kind of seeing the magic in it. So let's go ahead and get a mystical shaman oracle. Okay, the giveaway reversed. The wind. Oh, I have been doing a lot of walking and letting the wind really clear my mind, and the sun also, and Virgo just had that too, and then the rattle on the bottom. So let's go ahead and read these, the little medicine. We got a couple of them reversed here. The rattle is reversed. That's the one on the bottom of the deck, you guys. And it says you want to catch God on the whisper, not on the shout. What you are trying to craft to your own desires and expectations is already there, standing before you. Do not spin the world to your own benefit. You are being offered the Creator's tools, which must be put to use to serve a divine purpose. Okay, so that's saying, whatever this is, you may be trying to make it fit your idea of what it should be, not what it's meant to be for the bigger picture, for the whole. And it's saying you definitely want to take note of that if this is something you're, for this balance, for this whole bigger balance that's happening. And it's what you're trying to craft. So you could be trying to make something a certain way and it's already there. What you desire and your expectations are actually already there. You're just maybe not seeing it. Maybe you're not seeing the gift in it, or maybe you're not seeing the beauty in it, or maybe you're not seeing the whole picture of this and what's the light in it. It feels like you could be really seeing something from a maybe a darker perspective here, and we all do this, you guys, but that's why we can do these readings and kind of look at even our blind spots a little. The medicine on the giveaway. Okay, so it says, it is difficult for you to set limits on how much of yourself you give. If you give more than is healthy, then you will not be able to give for long. Then you will feel resentful with your partner or associates, or you'll feel like the world owes you something in return. You could have gave to something too here and maybe are looking at it and not understanding why it doesn't look the way you want it to look or whatever. And you could be feeling a lot of resentfulness and anger about giving something to somebody, or whether this was your time or your energy or your money or whatever it is. And then you feel like they owe you something or something. Yeah, like this is, it says, notice if you give for any reason other than pure generosity. So if you expect something or you have expectations rather than just, hey, I love this person and I want to help, and that's it. Nothing, I'm not expecting anything in return. I just want to help. I want to see this person be better, do better. I want this person to feel loved or understood. That's all. Not so that they'll, I'm not getting nothing out of it except for the fact that I know I'm doing what's right in my heart. So if you're dealing with this situation right now, it's also saying to remember to only give because just pure generosity. Are you trying to be liked or accepted? Also, this is another kind of theme through these readings it's like, if you're doing anything to be liked or accepted by others that's just not in alignment with you, Spirit's coming in strong and has been saying, stop, be you, be exactly who you are. And that means, of course, being in alignment with your heart, not who, like the personality and the conditioned part of us is, but the soul part of us, who we are. says, are you hoping to heal an old wound? And that's kind of what this is feeling like. Maybe like you're hoping to heal something here, an old wound or something. And it does say, you know, believe in magic and check your values, your faith, and your spirituality right now. Seeing stuff from a bigger picture. Start giving to yourself first and foremost. Offer yourself care, love, and time, and acceptance that you are longing for. Once you experience plenty, then you can truly give to others. When you start loving yourself, maybe forgiving yourself, maybe understanding yourself on a deeper level. I was getting this could be somebody else or you experiencing this, and it could be both, who knows, but it's just saying you need to offer yourself that that look at the other side. So we all have both masculine, feminine, light, shadow, all of it within, but we see it reflected outside of ourselves too. But it's also really looking at that inside and really coming to that balance inside, giving ourselves that care, that nurturing, that understanding that maybe we aren't or haven't gotten from the outside. And when we give that to ourselves, then we can see when other people need it or have needed it. And we may have feelings of wishing, you know, we could go back and give that at that time, but it's just, it's a growth process. So you just can't go back. You have to just be the best you can be today. So let's go ahead and go to this wind, 63. The essence. The symbol of the wind represents the element of air, and air is representative of the mind too. It rolls over communication, thought, song, and inspired ideas. It also signifies change with qualities both positive and negative. So you can take this either way. That's kind of where this is feeling like you have a chance or an opportunity here to balance something out, maybe make some magic happen in your life, maybe some healing, some big time healing, by being going within, finding that deep truth, understanding compassion for yourself and others in this situation, and seeing something from a bigger, higher perspective. The wind blows from each of the 4 directions, and there are different qualities bestowed by each. The south is carrying a new sense of trust, helping you gently begin to discard habits and parts of you that are no longer needed. West is calling you to move more to introspection, to a willingness to make final decisions and to let go of attachments and ego desires. The north is moving you to bring wisdom and strength. The east is carrying clarity of vision and purpose. Whichever way the wind is blowing for you, the message which the wind whispers or shouts. That's interesting because on the bottom we had that rattle and you wanted to catch God on a whisper, not a shout. And God being everything, including the wind, I believe it's just everything. Catch it on a whisper, a breeze, pay attention to the breezes of your mind, if that makes sense. The little thoughts that turn into big thoughts that build up and build up and build up into this frustration, this anger, maybe an addiction, maybe trying to escape something through some kind of not balanced, not healthy way of balancing anything out. Like I said in my example with my life, it says it takes courage at first to turn and face the wind, face your own mind, face your own thoughts, face your own perceptions. But you will find exaltation in moving forward, in moving toward it and receiving its lessons. So really letting that wind, this process move you through your mind and help you really come into a better place here, because we got the sun and it is reversed here. So the medicine, it's time to do a little shadow work. That's what this is saying. It's saying in order to see this sun, you have to, it says, have you been shining your light for too long? Which, to me, it's like that sun's like what everybody sees. Like, it's like worrying about kind of like what everybody's seeing and shining that light for everybody else to see, but you haven't shined it for you to see. Remember that daylight is only half the day. The night must have her equal time, and she offers us her gifts as well. Be careful not to be blinded by your light. And light, in this sense, in the sun, it also represents the self, also the ego self. So there could be some ego here needing to kind of be looked at. I am getting that too. It says, be careful not to be blinded by the light of others either. So don't be blinded by your own light or the light of others. It says, do not become enamored with yourself or worship others. So don't, become all self-absorbed or totally absorbent in another person. There's balance needed here. Beware of your shadow. Revel in your midday glory. Be happy during the day when you're just doing your thing, being, doing your earth stuff, I call it, but there's a time, and it's when the midday glory is gone. It's saying you can enjoy the glory of others seeing seeing you shine, seeing maybe something really good. But there's also, and it isn't bad, because it has gifts. Shadow has gifts when we look at it, because it could be a real gift to see something differently here. And that's what I'm feeling, is like, if you could see something differently, which you'd have to go in and maybe look at your ego, maybe look at your expectations, maybe look at how you're feeling and seeing something. That could shift something here and make something really positive happen here. It says, revel in your midday glory, but do not be afraid of the waning of the light at dusk. So don't be afraid of going in and looking at things from a different perspective. That yin-yang energy right here, that balance needed, you guys. So that's a really nice message. So let's go ahead and get a couple of these here to give away. Okay. And we got that Ten of Pentacles. I celebrate everything I achieve. Celebrate life and welcome new energy. Really trying to close a door here on something, probably something you've been looking at maybe from the past that's been hard to see in a balanced way, or to move on from, is what I'm getting. But it says, I celebrate life and welcome new energy right here in that wind. So this is really letting something shift here, and welcoming this new perspective, or a new, where it's like there has been a feeling here of maybe giving to something and achieving something here, really achieving something, making something happen in the earth matters, maybe in relationships, maybe you made a big difference, but there's some kind of resentment or some kind of feeling here of not feeling like you got what you deserve or something. That's another message coming through. Let's see what this is. And then that Ten of Cups under that sun. And it says, I have all I wish for in my relationships. And then on the bottom, Six of Pentacles. I give and receive for universal good. Six of Pentacles. This is a huge energy. This is about stepping up and doing the right thing because it's just the right thing and it feels right. Not to get anything in return, not to make something work for you, but because it's better for everybody, because it's contributing to the bigger picture, the whole. There's a feeling here with the sun and that kind of ego-ish energy, but also like something really good here with this Ten of Cups. So this could be like, this is total emotional contentment. Now, the reason why there isn't total emotional contentment right now is because there's some feeling here of putting all of everything in what is seen and not doing like maybe some shadow work on what maybe not seeing that you've gotten what you needed from a relationship or a situation in your life that you may be feeling resentful or angry about. But there was a lot of good in your relationships, but maybe you just aren't seeing it because there's that shadow work with the perspective, the perception, some kind of higher understanding needed, like from a spiritual place, or like a wisdom, living it, having been gone through it. That's what I'm getting from that. So let's see. Let's go ahead and get these here. That, yeah, taking down those defenses right now, you guys, is important. Ten of Swords, getting out of your head, that Ten of Swords, untrapping yourself from any kind of pains, griefs, angers, anything holding you back right now from shifting and going into this new door, opening this door, like not closing the door to a new energy, a new perspective, a higher understanding, Release the defenses. This is the advice here. So there's just a feeling here of part of you maybe wanting to stand your ground on something. But, you know, like stand your ground that you have been helpful, or you have done something profound here, and you've contributed to something big time. But I think the perception of the expectations and what you deserve in return or something could be a little construed. The perception here is just a little feeling, it's like need to get out of this. The Ten of Swords, it's the end. It's the end of this mental, and this is a lot of mental stuff. You could be dealing with something mentally really holding you back right here, whether this is an addiction or an illness. Like it said, if you need help, you need to find help. If you're looking at this within yourself, that's okay. It can bring you could really find a lot of joy and happiness by going within and doing the shadow work. There's something here in the mind here that's trying to close out so that you can open up your mind to magic and spirituality and balance in the future. But looking back at balance being needed, there's some kind of balance that's needed here with looking at the past or what you're looking at in order to move forward. That's what I'm getting. And then we got that Five of Cups and it was reversed. So not seeing what is lost or what is gone, whether this is a person physically or if they just weren't there for you and you were there for them or something like that. It's about looking at those 2 cups that are left, not the 3 that have spilled. And then that Five of Swords, this is that I'm going to win no matter what. That anger, that frustration, that this is going to be my way. Nobody really wins with the Five of Swords because somebody always gets hurt when we have that kind of mental attitude. That's what it comes. And then the Five of Cups, you know, this, and it did come out the reverse. So this means coming in here, if you can see that you have what you need right in front of you in this lesson or this relationship, or shine some light on this darkness or whatever this is, it's feeling a lot of mind stuff. And it's feeling like there's a lot of good in it too, but it's like maybe you just are not seeing it. Five of Cups is just switching your focus from what you haven't got from something to what you have and what you can and what you are getting from this. There's closure here. There's getting out of a lot of if this was somebody dealing with depression or sadness or shame, guilt, that's what this Ten of Swords is also. It's free. They're free of it, or you're free. You can be free of it. But there's a need to look at the positive and recognize that you have what you wish for here. But there needs to be a little shadow work if you're doubting that or something. You need to go in and look at maybe some expectations, judgments, yeah, there's just this feeling. Okay, let's get one of these spiral oracles. And, you know, I always give the advice, follow your heart, Libra, but definitely look at what's going on in the mind here about this situation or whatnot. Pilgrimage is the card. We're going to read that. Holding this light, it's interesting. Holding this light. I am on the journey of life. I take advantage of this journey to revise limiting beliefs that have blighted my past. This is definitely something to do with the past. I'm definitely getting that. And it says, for too long I have surrendered to my weaknesses, and now I clearly see the task before me. I will not put it off any longer. I am capable. I can do it. In one insightful moment, I cut the chains to the past. There's something here in the past that's holding you back from starting a new cycle. It has a lot of mental anguish behind it, but there's a lot of happiness here to look at. There's that Two of Cups. There's this Ten of Cups. There's the Sun. But there's a need to go in and surrender Okay, so it's saying, for too long I have surrendered to my weaknesses. This could be addictions. This could be the weakness of the mind, of this feeling of getting sucked into this, the Five of Swords energy, this, or this, there's just something here. Let me continue. I cut the chains. They did not know it was impossible, so they did it. Believing in anything is possible. That's this magic, higher realms and magic card too. Believe in the impossible. Like nothing good could possibly come from that. Well, nothing will if that's the case. But when you believe something, or you don't see the impossibilities, you see only possibility, then there is only possibility. So that's a completely different perspective. Courage is the key word to this card. And it says, today I look in the eye, look at life in the eye and accept that we are dancing, a dance of joys, illusions, and sorrows. That's what I'm getting. Like there's some kind of sorrow that's kind of maybe just, not saying it wasn't mentally anguishing or it hasn't been hard, but there's also illusion with it because there's something here that's really good that's come out of it. You may not feel like you're getting what you want from it or something, or you helped something or did something, or you're looking back at something and not seeing balance, but there is balance there. And it's coming from like a higher, behind the scenes, guys. Today, I have not come here to be perfect, and we have not come here to be perfect, you guys. We have came here to learn. We have came here to grow. We have came here to become more understanding. And help others become more understanding human beings, and more understanding of everything, and open-minded to all of the realms, not just one. I have come here to be real. That's what it says. It says, I have not come here to be perfect. I've come here to be real. When I expand, fear diminishes. Yes, there's some kind of expansion here trying to happen for you, if this is your reading, Libra. And if it's not, just leave it. But there's some kind of expansion of light trying to happen, but it's going to require you going in and doing some shadow work here on some perspectives or some ideas you have about the past here, releasing some defenses, shutting the door to it, cutting the chains to it. I leave the shores of safety to venture out on this journey. That's also this Sun card too, this ego and this anger and this frustration. It's kind of like, it's all protection and it's all there to keep us safe, but it's kind of like leaving that safe zone to really venture out in the journey. And this feels like a journey in the etheric realms. It doesn't feel like it's earth realms. It feels like you're really, but it's something on this physical journey that you're looking at that could be holding back this higher connection or higher wisdom trying to come in for you right now. I take a leap of faith and receive my reward. So whatever it is that you have expectations about or something, it's right there. It's right there. You just start seeing it. It's saying, have faith and you have rewards here. There's rewards here. There's something good here. There's the Two of Cups. There's the Ten of Cups. It's just this sun energy, like, and it could be just ego or something getting in the way, guys. So not trying to beat up on anybody here, but that's what it's feeling like. Let's get one of these for the top here. This is really nice. There's something really good here. Yeah, nurture your energy. Inner turmoil and stress. This is all inner stuff. Partnership on the bottom. Co-create, collaborate, and support union. So there's something here asking you to continue supporting it or to support the union. It doesn't necessarily have to be a relationship. It could just be this balance, supporting this balance of different perspectives and shadow and light. It could feel really overwhelming right now for you, whoever this is for, but it is coming in and saying, you know, this is leading to really, really magical, good stuff here. Just having that more open mind and higher perspective and embracing this kind of light within. Let's get one of these Cali cards here. There's definitely something here trying to soothe, nurture, calm you, because there's this anger and this resentment and this a lot of feelings here. There's a perspective some change in the wind, some ending to an old like mind cycle, mental cycle. We got Nitya Kali. That's beautiful. And it says, through journeying within, you will gain energy, insight, and freedom from the constraints of what has been. Yeah, there's something here that has been that it just feels, you just need to gain more insight going within. Something within. You're going to see this differently. Allow that which needs to end to do so. You shall realize that you are not being denied, but released. There is something new on the horizon for you. Honor your losses, but keep hope in your heart for what is meant to be. So letting the past go and allowing your rewards and gifts to come in. There's something right here, right for you. And it's liberating you from some kind of past perception or mental anguish, the world, the wind's shifting and changing and bringing out these, shutting the door to this Ten of Swords. And it's bringing in a vibe of wanting to celebrate and welcome new energy, new, and then this 10 of Cups and this 5 of Cups and this Sun. It's like, it's right there, but you're just not seeing it. I have all I wish for in my relationships. But you could be looking at, this could be the same kind of relationship, or the same relationship maybe, where you've seen a lot amiss. You've seen a lot go down in it. But there's still the most important cups standing to look at. So that's what I'm getting for you guys, Libra, or whoever this resonated with. I hope that helps somebody. And as always, I appreciate you guys coming. And there's a full moon in his too with this overwhelm. You could really be feeling this at this time period with this full moons. This full moon energy has been intense. So I appreciate you guys. I hope you guys have a good day, and I'll talk to you later.